Hello, everyone, and it's an amazing morning already. So, we have a guest already this morning as well who is sharing with us on my intentional parenting journey. My intentional parenting journey is a journey of parents who have been with us for a while, who can tell us about the TIP annual conference and also speak about the TIP inner circle. We find that quite a number of times, parents are constantly asking us, what is this all about? How do we get to know this and all of that? So we, from time to time, try to do my intentional parenting journey. We're doing this series just before the TIP annual conference, and we're going to do another set of the series after the TIP annual conference, maybe sometime in September, just before we do the final sign up for the TIP. All right, the final sign up for the TIP inner circle. But today we are working with Elizabeth Ambang. Elizabeth Ambang, all the way from Cameroon. This is to tell you that the inner circle is very universal. In fact, at the time, last year, the Cameroon Yada said we should create a space for them. They are taking over gradually. All right, so Elizabeth is in the building. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with me.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. All right, so let's go at it. Okay. So Elizabeth, share with us what has been your experience so far. Were you at TIP annual conference last year?
Yes, ma'am. I was
Awesome.
a participant. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So share with us what was that thing about the TIP annual conference for you?
The when I before the TIP annual conference, I had attended the Sex Educate Like a Pro. I was overwhelmed. It was an explosive for me. I never
Hmm.
knew that there was an academy for parents. I never knew that there was something like that it ever existed. But I had girls, and I did not know how. Uh, I was worried that, but how would these girls thrive without predators? Without how can I protect them? I had all those kind of questions, and then a friend sent me the link. So after the Sex Educate Like a Pro, we had other conferences like the annual conference that I attended. I had expectations. Um, the annual conference taught me a lot. I Before I joined, I have other children that I'm living with. That means I have 8 children. To have 8 children in the house is not easy.
At
Then
all.
the conference now is telling us you don't have to yell, you don't have to beat. There is a structure. Ha, structure how again? How can you have children like this? You don't do anything. You are just there looking at them, and you are not saying anything. So the yes. So please, I'm sorry. The TIP. I'm sorry. The last girl is just 2 years old.
Oh,
I've
no,
said
no,
that they
no.
should not enter. That they
That's just perfect.
are okay. Please forgive me. Okay. So when I joined the TIP, I had expectations like, how can my children be independent? How
Hmm.
can they live without depending on me, without depending on their siblings? Because it's very rampant here. Someone is 30 years old, he's 45 years old. He's saying that, hey, my parents have not bought me, they have not paid my rents. Or my elder sister or my older brother is not doing this for me. So how will my children live independently? Because it's a boredom. It's You are a bore to the society.
Hmm.
How will my children survive in school with bullies, because in the TIP annual conference, they taught us how the children will survive in school with bullies, how we are supposed to relate with other teachers. They taught us how we are going to choose schools for our children. They taught us how the children are going to thrive in even in the school milieu and be excellent. They taught us so many things. They taught us even how the well, because we as parents are always wanting the children to be first in class, always first in class. But there are other things that are more important that we have to build in the children to make them excellent in character, to make, and the other things will follow. But we are concerned only about our, because when we say that the children should be first, our children must be doctors, our children must be, we are um projecting ourselves. We want to live through the children. So we're taught not to live our experiences or what we had wanted to do in the future through our children. Our children have their own lives. When they are 18, we launch them to the world. I never knew something like that. Always knew that even 21, you are still there. Oh, mommy, send me this. Oh, my rent is this. Oh, you are 30. Oh, daddy, please. I am. That's how it is this way. And I've lived that, and especially because I'm also the firstborn. So I have learned a lot in this TIP conference. We had, and even the trauma class that I attended helped me to unburden all that firstborn trauma, all that, because if you know the weight that I carried, coach, if you know the weight that I carried, no. And the experience, our parents used to parent us from intuition. The TIP annual conference taught us
Mm.
that we don't parent from intuition. The children that I have right now, I'm not going to differentiate which one is mine, which one is not. Now they can wake up in the morning. They know that there is they have chores to do. Nobody is there following with a cane, shouting in the morning, who has not done this, who has not done homework. No, nobody is doing that anymore. Before we used to do
Awesome.
it.
Awesome, awesome. So we have a guest this morning. Her name is Elizabeth Abang, and she is from Cameroon. Yes, we have a set of Cameroonians who are about to take over the academy. They are running us over, as far as I'm concerned. Nigerians are there sitting down. These guys are running over us over it literally. So share with us. So Elizabeth has been sharing how she got to know about the academy. And the first thing she said was she got to know about the academy when she registered for Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. How did you get into Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, ma?
A friend, another Cameroonian, who was not even in the inner circle, sent me the advert. So I
Wow.
saw it. When I read it, there were experiences there about a girl child being raped. I said, but these are things that are happening around us. These are things that I'm seeing, and it was the period there. It was a period where children were being raped. It was just that time. So when I saw it, I sent it to my other groups. I sent it to family members. I insisted that we must. I had not even, but when we started the program from the first day, the way they were talking with so much value, so much uh, knowledge, I was, what is this? Then it was too much. I said, but these people knew all these things, and then the following day, it was even greater than the first day. After that, we went again. They talked about roles. You have to do uh, role play. I say, oh, with small children, you will be doing role play. And it was effective because I've used it. I've taught using role play, and the children enjoy it because they learn more with those plays, and it sticks better. They taught us
Mm.
about drugs. I say, and the experiences that they shared, because they shared life experiences, those were the things that really convinced us that these things are really happening. The experiences that they shared also were so touching and moving. So the experience was so, I said I must join that inner circle.
Mm.
I said I was determined to join. And then I now met that my friend who said, I said, but what will we do now with the knowledge that we have had? She said, we only have to join that inner circle. Oh. She said she has paid. I said, hey, I've already paid. Let me go and pay. I paid now. After that, I called another friend who said, oh, I said, so you are still there, you have not paid. She said, oh, let her go. They said it's 50,000. Very soon we change to 70. I said, go and pay. She went and paid. She too registered another classmate of ours. So it was something that we never knew that existed. It's true.
Awesome, amazing. Thank you again, Elizabeth Abang. If you're just joining us, you're joining the my intentional parenting journey. It's an inner circle exclusive that we're bringing to the public. We are having people who we work with in the academy to come and share their journey about being in the inner circle. So I'm going to ask you now, the inner circle, what is the inner circle about? People come to me to say, Coach, what's this inner circle about? And usually I don't know how to explain this, what is the inner circle about. You've chronicled your journey from sex educate your child like a pro. By the way, we just finished the sex educate your child like a pro. I don't even know whether I will call it a movement or a course, because we have 7,000 plus people in that class. So I don't think we need to be calling it a course anymore. Sex educate your child like a pro movement. And then
Movement. It's a movement, coach. It's a movement.
we are getting into we're now getting into the what do we call the annual conference, and then the conference. So people have asked me, from sex educate your child like a pro, coach, you talked about inner circle. What is the inner circle about? I want to really know what the inner circle involves. What do you learn? So I'm going to be asking the audience what they learn in the inner circle, so that it's not coach that is saying what they learn. So share with us, what do you learn? What do you learn in the inner circle?
Let me start from the first month, December. In December, when we started the inner circle, it was Christmas period. That was a time where we are usually overwhelmed with so much work, cooking, so much preparation for 25th, no structure, no. So that month, we learned that we could connect with the children. We could make them happy without giving them so much work. We could make it fun. We could make it a family thing. We could be happy without spending so much, or without buying all those things that we used to buy, putting heavy wigs on the children's hair. We could do matching pajamas. We could have movie time together. We could go out to orphanages, go out to the playground, let them be. Yes, we learned that. Then from January, we started with book reviews, how to connect with the children. Those were things that we knew before, that when you have a child, you come in the evening, you how are you? Okay, you're watching this cartoon. Okay, no, just go ahead, and then you prepare something to eat. No, now we knew that we had to be intentional about the connection, because
Mm,
that connection you cannot correct without connecting. If
mm,
you correct without connecting, the child may become rebellious. The
mm,
child may not connect with you, with what you are trying to say, and other things, especially if it's a teenager, it will be more difficult. So we learned through daily connection tools, some structures to put in place. How we started small because they did not really started giving us backbones in the beginning. They were still welcoming us. So we started small, but I took it seriously because I knew that we're told from the first day that those small, little things that they are telling us every morning are very important, which are going to be built, be bigger. So we started like that. I started connecting with the children. Now I could spend um, most of my day. Now I could leave the meetings. Now I could leave the unnecessary outings. Now I could leave because we now knew that the relationship with the child is more important. We learned how to make the children do things by themselves without you following with the cane, without you following with the uh, with yelling and things like that. So we also learned how to make the children be proactive. That means they will research something by themselves, come and present it so that they can also learn to be bold. They can learn to do research. They learn to read. They learn to present in public. They learn to stand out and um, let them be convinced about their principles, because we also dwelt on values. Let the family have their values. Let the family have a tradition. Even Christmas, we were told to build a family tradition. So we had traditions, we had values that we had to be reminding the children of. They had to live by those values. So we also had we're also taught on how to discipline the child without the pain, without shaming the child, without making the child feel worthless. How to make the child have confidence in themselves. How to make we're taught all those things, and they were with those daily structures, those
All right, we're live with
talk.
Elizabeth. I do
Pillow
not
talk.
know. Oh, that's go ahead. Sorry, I think you were
Oh,
putting
okay.
that.
They will just say have a pillow talk. You will say, "But ah, with a small child, how can you be?" No, I started. I said, okay, I'll take my humility, agbada.
You know, the interesting thing about the inner circle is there are inner circle vocabs. And when you get into the inner circle, the vocabulary sticks. So you hear things like humility abada, you hear things like parenting is not a spa, TLP is not a spa. You hear several vocabs, and these vocabs cut across the world. We have parents who are from the Caribbean, who are not even Nigerians. We have parents
Mm-hmm.
who are from the US, and all of us, these vocabs are very legit. All right. So when you hear Elizabeth trying to put all of these things into perspective in place, don't feel, the way she pronounced Abada, and I started to laugh. Abada is a Nigerian language, right? So we try to get everybody to key into some of our key into most of these vocabs. There are some things that I say, it's only inner circle parents that can understand it. So when I say something like you want to pop at the wrong time, they get it. They get it. They just get it. They understand what popping means. It's not,
Yep.
when I say Oshe, I don't say it the way that I say it. All right. They get it when I say it.
Yes, yes.
Some people listen outside of the inner circle. Sometimes somebody had said, "Oh, baby, are you laughing at the person?" I said, "No, no, no, you don't get it." All right, some of these things they are inner circle exclusive. So that's the word. Thank you again, Elizabeth Abang, all the way from Cameroon, joining us and sharing with us about her intentional parenting journey. All right. When people say, oh, in Nigeria, this is not done, oh, we're going to also try and see how We're going to have a lot of the people who are not Nigerians and how they view parenting as well. Last year we had Dinah Smith. Dinah Smith is from the Caribbean and she's a grandmother. She's 65. Yeah, she's a grandmom. She's not even a first generation, mom. She's a grandmom. We had Mr. Joseph also come to share his journey. He's also a grandfather, right? His oldest child, I think, is 30 something. So we have people who have walked this journey. Somebody reached out to me a few days ago. She wanted to thank me for sex educate your child like a pro. Her thank you was so robust. And then she said to me, I joined sex educate your child like a pro from my daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law just told me, Mom, you know what? My children also spend time with you. Come and learn from this, course. She joined Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, and she said, nah, I need to be inside this inner circle. She has paid, in fact, she paid full fee and said, Ma, I am waiting. I'm a grandma, but you see this inner circle. There's something about, I just want to come and learn. Grandmothers. We have people who are in their 60s who are, learning in the academy. And that's the beautiful thing about the inner circle, system. It cuts across. Whether you are grandparenting, you're parenting toddler. You heard Elizabeth talking about toddler. So Elizabeth has been trying to put together in words the things that have been learned. I do not think that even the 1 month learning, all right, when we talk about, when people say, okay, so let me ask this question to Elizabeth. So that is going to really help us. Elizabeth, what do you think about how much you paid and what you get from the academy?
How much I paid? By the first, if you have to qualify or quantify knowledge, the value that we have had in December, because we started in December, first week, let's say first week it had expired. So now what we are doing is we are trying to get from coach, or how do we call it? Is it borrow or is it borrow? Because we have already passed, we have passed that 50,000, we have passed that 70,000. So now it's just bonus. And you can imagine bonus after December. This is already July. And we have to be there, we have the value is just too much. No, the value is just too much. That is why in my in my WhatsApp groups, in my family WhatsApp groups, I keep sending every conference that we have, I keep sending invitations, and is and I like it because they also respond positively. People, other family members have joined this year. I have one of my sisters in South Africa also who has joined. So it's when you see something that is good, you tell others. They themselves, they don't need to be just from one conference. They themselves will testify and send to their friends, because there is a lot of value. You cannot quantify it, you cannot qualify it. Even if we're paying 200,000 francs fees, only school fees here is not that kind of money. The money is too small for the value that we get.
Thank you so much. I was going to say that, but I just thought of it. Why am I saying it? There's a yada here, so that people do not see it as a bias. This kind, coach, now you're going to say it that way and all of that. But me, I know that when you are done in the first week in December, your money don't finish. Me, yeah, that's
Finish,
I don't know.
finish,
They said I don't
finish.
know how to speak broken. I'm trying not to speak broken. Your money is finished. Gabadea.
Finish,
There
finish.
is no, so when people say, the money I paid, I say, no, forget the money you
Mm-mm,
paid. My
mm-mm.
passion will outrun the money you paid. That one I'm sure. Our dedication runs every second, whatever it is that you paid. It outruns every minute, whatever it is that you paid. In fact, somebody reached out to me, Yada, all right, and said to me that, Coach, you know that we've actually done a lot. The things we've done, I cannot even quantify it. Is there still more in the next 5 months that is coming that we're going to learn. I say, you don't know about it. Don't know about it. There's still a lot in stock, all right, for the year. And by the time you get to October, November, you're like, as in, there's still so much to learn. There's always so much to learn. And the beauty about this academy, right, is that even if you do the academy, do the inner circle 5 times, one level, it's new every day.
New
You
every day.
can never, ever. See, that's when you know that something is caught, all right? Something
Yeah.
is given to someone. You can't attend the course this year. You come back to that course the next year, and it's the same thing you had. It's not possible. So if you listen to Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, volume 1 is different, volume 2 is different, volume 3 is different. That is how it works. The curriculum of the inner circle gets revamped. So even those who were in the inner circle before, who came maybe dropped off and then came back another year, and they say, "Oh, coach, can I go and start from level 2?" I say, "Nah, you will be lost. You need to go back and start from level 1 again because the curriculum is totally different." All right. And I want to use this medium to also say shout out to everybody who pushes the narrative, to their family and their friends, and I always say that it's only fools that doubt proofs. You can't see a proof and then you are not saying, no, it's not true. So the inner circle avails us the opportunity for people to practice what they are learning in their various homes. So tell us, all right? The good part is even if you implement 10% of what you are taught, you saw. That's it, MB. All right? Even if it's 10% you're taught, as in you implement just 10% of what you are learning, Omo, you will become a star. I've seen it happen. You will become a star. That I know. So Elizabeth, share with us what is the difference between what your children before you joined the academy, the inner circle program, and now?
Before, I used to do things because we know that as a child you do things for them. There will be someone who is supposed to wash their clothes. There is somebody who is supposed to clean up after them. Now I know that when they wash plates, they have to, and when they eat, they have to wash their plates. You have to teach them the value of food. That's like, if you cannot finish this, don't take. The children now know that they have to be responsible even for their actions. They can they can apologize by themselves. They can ask by them, because before, if they have an issue in school, is we the parents, me, I've done it before the inner circle. I will go there and stand there and defend and say everything, and no, my child needs. But now the child, you will go there by themselves. They go and
Hmm.
do whatever they have to do. If it's to make peace with their friend, it's not me anymore who will go there and say, please, my child is sorry. My child will not. No, she will do it herself. Now they have devotions. Now we have devotions in the evenings, because mornings they have prepared let's say they have cleaned the house in the evening, so that in the mornings there will be no shouting, no whatever. Now they wake up peacefully. Nobody is shouting at who is sleeping with. No, they know that they have to wake up peacefully. There is music, because I have to copy from my coach and music in the morning.
All right, we are live with Elizabeth Abangu is sharing her journey through the inner circle and through the TIP annual conference. There's something that Elizabeth said. Elizabeth said, I got into the academy after the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro and the inner circle and the TIP annual conference. The TIP annual conference, you can see it right on my screen. The TIP annual conference is a conference for parents to be, whoever it is, wherever that person is, and who is interested or have any contact with raising a child. Now, the TIBANA conference is a platform where we give back. We give back wholeheartedly. We bring you the best of the best. We pay the price so that you can have access. People finish TIBANA conference and ask us questions like, you mean we didn't pay for this? Yes, it's free. But the inner circle program is paid for. which is where the real work. The TFNR conference is 7 days. It's one of after it, and then what next? All right. And then this is what we do. All right. Flora said, Coach, my money finished sincerely, and everything I've been having sticks for a lifetime. Thank you so much, Flora. NB said the good part is that even if you implement 10% of what you're taught, you will soar. That's the beautiful thing about the inner circle. It does not matter what it is, where you're coming from, you would be able to walk where you are, coming from to where you're going. All right. Flora said, every month we are wowed with so much to learn. That's the beautiful thing. You are literally completely wowed. As in, your armor is constantly armored as you're going. All right. It is never ever the same. The inner circle has been it's a platform. Yesterday I was teaching on Instagram, and I said something on that live session. I said to them that the inner circle was actually created out of something stronger than you can imagine. So it's not one of those programs that you go and look at that to create something that make money. You go and copy from Google, you come, gather people, and you are teaching them. Nah, it is transformational. That's how you know what coaching works. And that's why the inner circle is a yearly affair. That's why the inner circle is a yearly affair. It is transformational, all right? It is transformational. And it's very, very important for you to note that there is no one, there is nobody that can succeed when it comes to parenting without systems, without structures, and without skills. Somebody help me write that in the comment section. Systems, I've started teaching. I'm avoiding to teach. Systems, because I'm a teacher, yeah? I just teach at every opportunity. Systems, skills, and structures. Okay? And that's why you can't sit with me in 10 minutes and you don't pick out anything. There's always something to teach and learn. All right? So these three things are a game changer for your parenting. Any parenting that you have that do not, breed systems, do not, breed structures, and you don't work it out with skills, then that parenting is null and void. And I'm going to, all right, and I'm going to share a very typical example. I usually say that many of the times, what is happening in this generation are parents who are raising children and they are unskilled. See, you do not fall, right? You do not, there's a saying, you do not rise, all right, to the level of your goals. All right? You do not rise to the level of your goals. You do not fall to the level of your goals. Yeah? You rise to the level of your systems. Okay? You rise to the level of your system. So it's about systems. So it's not about, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing it. If you lack systems, if you lack structures, if you lack skills, these three things, your parenting is dead. It's not working. Everything that is not working in life is traceable to a failed system or a system that was not followed. Let me say that again. Anything that is not working in life is traceable to two things: a failed system or a system that wasn't followed. So a system that wasn't created at all, or a system that was not followed yet was created. Check it anywhere. When you do reverse engineering of whatever it is that happened. Yesterday I was sharing about working with a particular parent whose child is, going through being transitioned from a female to a male in Canada, right? Nigerian parents, before Nigerians will say, Nigerian children will never ever, cannot. It will shock you, right? And when I was doing reverse engineering, right, that's one of the beautiful things that I do in my one-on-one coaching. I use, the reverse engineering system to get you to understand where the system has failed. The moment you can pinpoint where the system failed, then you will be able to actually re-engineer your process. That's what the inner circle is about. When you are in the inner circle, you begin to see, Elizabeth is back, sorry. You begin to see, where the systems has failed. So it's not my parenting, nobody's going to teach me how to parent. No, 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 that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about systems that are in place that work a thing. Nothing works. Show me anybody that have succeeded in anything without systems. See, it's only when you build systems, it's only systems that are replicable. You cannot replicate something that is not systematic. So when people come to me to say, "Oh, your son, the prefect, right, the teachers in my son's school, we're trying to say, oh, you should be very excited. You should kill cow for your son. He's a prefect. He's the only junior that is a prefect. He's a rare privilege, and everybody who is a prefect at this." Junior class is always ends up the head boy, blah, 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 and all of that. I said something, and it's not pride, it's just systems. And I said, the systems are there and I can replicate it with another child. It's not guesswork. It can be finely replicated. And this is what we miss in Africa, where we can't pinpoint systems, where we can't put our finger to what it is that works, because we are not given to reversing what we have done. So what we teach you in the inner circle is to get you to the point where you are looking at what you have done, looking at what is working and taking out what isn't working. And then, you flow from there. So there is nothing that works as a fluke. See, that's why we have systems that are not, we have wealthy people that can't replicate their wealth just because it's not systematic. It's not systemic. So anything that is not systemic is not replicable. And we do not want to raise the kind of children that we can't replicate. So you have it's a system. So the inner circle gives you the structure. You have a child, you have the structure to be able to do this. So you're not leaving it to chance. It's no longer whatever we be, we be. When I hear those kind of things, I get worried. Whatever will be, will be. A child, after all, a child, it will turn out however. So you leave what it is that is a responsibility to chance. To chance. Meanwhile, these are systems that can be keyed into, that can be replicated. And for me, it's the replication that is important. It's the system that is so key. So the inner circle program is about systems, it's about structures, and it's about you learning skills. Let me talk a bit about skills before Elizabeth continues. Skills, when we talk about skills, right? When we talk about skills, we are looking at the ability to. Many of us do not have the ability to. So one of the things that I see that is a major challenge in what we are doing today is that we have a lot of parents, right? We have a lot of parents who are raising children, but they are unskilled. I'll give you a very vivid example, and that works all the time. Swimming. Can you rescue someone who is drowning without knowing how to swim? Is it possible? Let me see your comment in the comment section. Is it possible to rescue someone who is swimming without knowing, who is drowning without knowing how to swim? Is it possible? The answer is a huge and a big no. Now, if you cannot rescue someone who is drowning without knowing how to swim, how then do you think you can help a child who is struggling without knowing what to do? Now, there was a time when my children wanted to learn to swim. It's not recently, it's a long time ago, when the children were about 6. I have teenagers today. The children are 13 going to 14. And we realized that no matter what it is that we do, if we do not learn how to swim with our children, if the swim coach is there, if the swim coach is there with them, then they can be saved. But how about when the swim coach is not there? Can we save our children? My husband and I realized that we can't. It meant that we were handicapped. Omo, we started to run. I'm sure I just said Omo now. I'm sure inner circle parents understand that switch is a switch. So we started to run. And then we went, called the swim coach and said, you know what? We're not paying you for only the two children to learn. We want all of us to learn to swim. So we learned how to swim. I was very hydrophobic. We became, we now became people who could swim. So today, when I go to the swimming pool with the kids, which we do very often, all right, even in the house, I sit down with a book and I'm flipping through and I'm just watching. You know the confidence that I have. The confidence is that I can swim. So even if something happens now, I can fly into the water and rescue the kids. Do you know the confidence that comes with being skilled? That's what we're talking about. The confidence that comes with your ability to know that you can is a different level of confidence. It's higher knowledge. So some things we teach is higher knowledge. So it keeps you at the place where you're not fretting. So I can't go to the pool now and I'm fretting that my child is going to drown. It's totally impossible. I can save my child because I'm skilled. I'm a skilled swimmer and I learned professionally. Now, flip it to parenting. Many of us are seated in a place where we cannot help our children. So our children are drowning and we're drowning with them, which is actually the saddest part of this conversation. Our children are drowning and we're drowning with them because we are unskilled to what it is that we need to give. And because we're unskilled, we are also not confident. Confidence on your parenting journey comes from your skill. Forget all these noise that we make all over social media. It is how skilled you are. That's what gives you confidence. So there are some things people ask me, is it possible that your child can do? I'm confident on the journey because I have the skill. And because of that skill, I've put in the structures and I'm running a system. That's exactly what the academy is about. Go ahead, Elizabeth Bank. I needed to, teach that as you were there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, coach. My MTN network had a
Oh, it's
problem. I
fine.
had to switch to Orange, the Orange network.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Yep. I was saying that um, from the structures that we get daily, we have learned that we should let our children learn how to cook. It will not only make them independent, it also forms their mental their brains. It also forms them. So now, even if they cannot, because the one who is 2 years old cannot really do much, but she knows that after water you put this, after salt you put. So I let her put the maggi, I let her put
Mm,
the salt. The other ones can cut. The one who is 4 years old, I don't really give her a very sharp knife, although there are some of my cohort members whose 4-year-old do with sharp knives.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've not yet started with, but the older ones who never used to cook before they came to meet me, now I can allow them to cook. I'm just in the room and then they do a full meal without me there. But before they came to stay with me, they did not know how to cook, but now they know. with the knowledge that we have had from TIP. Now we don't shade the children from is it responsibilities. We don't shade them from consequences. We don't shade them from, because we cannot protect them. We can only
Mm,
guide them. It's God
mm,
that does the. Now they also come up with the agenda for family meetings by themselves. They present, each person will come, maybe have a scripture, try to explain what it is. So the inner circle has not only helped my family, has helped my spiritual life, because
mm,
now we have even read some books of the Bible that I had not read before. And we had to have each person explain something. That's something that we never used to do before. It has also helped my marital life, because now I know how to listen, because they've taught us how to listen. Before we used to just say, okay, I've heard now, have I not heard now? But now we have learned how to really, really listen. So my relationship with my spouse is also getting better, because we are work in progress. We have also been introduced to the, because now I have had access to the marriage seal, which has also helped me a lot. So the inner circle helps you all round. Your marital life is improved, your personal life, even with my colleagues. A few months ago, it was an issue in the office. If it were before, it would have escalated. But with the knowledge
mm,
that I have in the inner circle, I can be calm, I wait, I try to explain it. I will not go and start attacking. It's you who went and did this thing behind my back. It's you who, no, we don't do that anymore, because of the knowledge that we have had from the inner circle. So it has also helped me to be able to discern, because they help
mm,
us to discern. When we have those small, small connection tools in the mornings, they form us, so that one day when an issue arises, because when we are doing those things every day, we think that what's this thing for? But when an
mm,
issue will arise, you will know that that knowledge that you had
mm,
in the morning, the coach's voice that you heard in the morning, will help you in that situation. So it helps me even in my relationship with other family members, even how I interact in the WhatsApp group, in the family group, because we have been taught about peace as a skill. We have been taught about honor, because now, if my children have something to celebrate, we celebrate it very well. We make sure that the person's, if the person, the child feels honored. Even the way we set the table now, because I've learned from or other people in my cohort, even from coach, especially from coach, when her children come back from boarding school, the way she will set the table. And so we have learned how to honor one another, especially when you have something to celebrate about. We have learned so yeah, so a lot of value. Let me just say, my life has changed. My life
thank you so
has
much,
changed.
in Elizabeth Abang. Elizabeth Abang is our Cameroonian gang, and like I said, they are trying to outrun the Nigerian clique. As in the way they are coming with like they will just come. They say, "Ah, coach, do you know how many we are? We're a lot." Oh, I'm like, "Oh, mom, these guys are not even, they are not even joking." Thank you
No.
again for joining. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about Elizabeth's experiences through joining the academy and also through joining the inner circle. All right. And also being at the annual conference. Let me see your chart. Have you registered for the annual conference? Let me see your comment in the comment section. Have you registered for the annual conference? The annual conference is a beautiful place to start. So you're looking at it, you're saying, now they are saying that we should pay money. What is it said they're going to tell us? So you can start by attending the annual conference first, all right? And start by attending the annual conference,
Yes.
okay? You will see the link in the comment, or you even see it on our timeline if you're streaming live from any of our any of our timelines, Facebook and all of that. Or you will even see it right in the comment. You just dropped in the comment. So start by saying to yourself, okay, I want to, let me attend this conference. Let me even hear what this yellow woman is saying, right? So let's be sure that this yellow woman is not just trying to market this thing. You know how we say it? She's just trying to market to us all these things, Jared. So may just get it from there. All right. So start from there. Start with the free one, eh? All right. At least that will help you. All right. And then you can now begin to now ask yourself questions, right? You can now begin to ask yourself questions. By the time you're done at the conference, I won't be the one preaching to you. I can be very sure,
Yeah.
right? I will not be the one. I will not be the one coming to say, why would you not? No, you will preach to yourself by yourself to yourself. Nobody will preach to you anymore. You hear 30 speakers from all over the world speaking to one team, sharing different experiences. And of course, he will know what that means. All right. So, Elizabeth, I'm going to talk a bit about how you can create systems. I'm glad to teach that a bit, before we go. But I want to also get Elizabeth to go. It's morning, and I think she's also struggling with her network. All right. So, Elizabeth, share
Yes.
with us. Um, Share with us. Somebody said I've booked a single slot for TIP 2022. This same Ologe or money day. Ologe, where did you say you come from again? You can't be bearing my surname and be harassing me. You are harassing me with that surname. That surname is special. Let me know that I'm related to you or not. Let me be knowing first. So that I'll know how I'll be treating you. All right. So Elizabeth, so what would be your last word to the people who are listening to us this morning?
Okay. I would like to say that if you are someone who would want your children to have a better future. Children who will have traumaless future, children who will be independent, children who can thrive on their own, children who will be God fearing, children who will be able to learn without a teacher sitting in front of a paid teacher, because some people pay teachers in the afternoon to come and teach. If you want those kind of children, then you join the inner circle. If you want to change your life, because before the children become whatever you want them to be, you change first. That is what we have learned in the inner circle. We have changed. We work on ourselves. It's we who change first, and then now your spouse will see, your children will follow, because we have to be models. We teach with modeling. Please just join. Maybe you start with this annual conference, which is free. Then you book your, just from the first speaker. I can assure you, when I went to Sex Educate Like a Pro, I knew that there was going to be value, but I did not expect the kind of value that I had. There are some things that we think that we know because we have learned it in church, because our grandparents have taught us. When you go there, you unlearn, relearn. That means what you will, please, if I cannot really say much, but you will experience it yourself. Some people joined the inner circle because of another person who had changed, because you are not going to be the first who will not change. There is no way you will join the inner circle and remain the same. It's not possible. You cannot remain the same. I think that's what I have to say. If you want your whole life to change, you want your marital life to change, financial life to change, everything to change, you have to join. That is what I have to say.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much,
much. Thank
Elizabeth
you.
Abang, all the way from Cameroon. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us this morning. And thank you so much. She's a Yada, a Cameroonian Yada. Thank you, ma'am, for doing this. I love you. Thank you. I honor you.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
very
being
much,
here.
Coach. Thank you.
We
It's a
really do
privilege.
appreciate time. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Alrighty, I can see I've registered. So if you haven't registered for TIP Honor Conference, You can see the details on my screen. You can also see the details on the description of this video. All right, all of the details. All right, all of the details that you need is actually there. Now, let me say something before the 2 minutes is gone. When you want to create a system, during this session, I spoke about systems. When you want to create a system, all right, you want to model. I heard that first from John Maxwell. The first step is creating a system that works, is modeling someone else. And that's a key aspect of systematic parenting. So if your parenting is not systemic, your parenting is not structured, that's the only way you can actually produce people who are excellent. Structure, systems. Without it, it will fail. Do not forget, the world must produce this mediocrity. You need to find someone who is modeling something differently and follow tenaciously. That's the only way to create these systems that work. Again, I repeat, if something is wrong, it is as a result of the system you didn't have or the system that you didn't follow. All right? Is a system that you didn't have or the system you didn't follow. The solution to that parenting challenge you're having is system. Is always in the system. But you don't know. You're looking for tips and hacks. You're sending, inbox. Please hide my identity. My child just did this. Advise me on social media. It's not going to take you anywhere really, because there is no system to make it work. Misbehaviors are only corrected systematically. If it's not systematic, that misbehavior will continue. So the system you don't have or the system you didn't follow is one of your biggest challenges. Hi, Tia Degule. It's one of your biggest challenges. So you must key into systems. And this is so key to whatever it is that you are doing. Do not forget, you know, do not forget that a goal is only a systemic resolve, not it's not a passionate resolve. So I have a goal to raise my child to be this. It is systemic for it to happen. It doesn't matter how passionate you are to raise people who are better. Believe you me, if you do not do the work, then it doesn't work. You need to be able to do the work for it to work. This is so key. This is so interesting. And like I said again, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. That's a quote by James Clear. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. Your failure will be according to the system that you put in place. Your success will be according to the system that you put in place and you follow. All right. Thank you again for joining me this morning. I see you again on Monday as we prepare for the TIP annual conference. We start how many days? In 10 days. 10 days from today, we will go live at the TIP annual conference. You do not want to miss any of it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. I do not take your time for granted. See you again as we journey through and count down to the TIP annual conference.